Hello everybody, my name is Rojo, and welcome back to Faeria. So, yeah, we got another world boss to do. This one's gonna be post-commentary because I had a very difficult time with him. Eventually I did end up going with this deck that I think is probably similar to a lot of other people who happen to have this one legendary, Sharra. The reason she's so important, you will see as we get into the game, but basically the idea is to get her via some card draw so that we can up our chances of actually getting her. And then once we have her, just buff the ever-living shit out of her so that she doesn't die. That's the gist of it. So the boss that we need to do is going to be Pyrhos. And of course, I've already beat him, so I'm actually recording this after I beat him. This little explanation. But yeah, he's got some mechanics. We'll go over those once we start. But yeah, so he is at the Forge of Creation. The Forge of Creation is where the god, I think that's maybe Auros. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. I'm going to go with Auros forged souls from raw magic. One of his greatest creations was Pyrhos, the guardian of the Forge. However, Pyrhos slowly grew mad in his isolation. To keep himself company, he used the Forge to create a friend he named Kojin. Sadly, Pyrhos was not a god and could not create a truly immortal being. So, yeah, let's check this guy out. So as you can see right off the bat, this guy's going to start with a pretty massive land advantage over us. That's sort of what the Earthcrafts are partially for, because he's going to come at us pretty aggressively with his land placement. But you also notice he has that little 0-6 guy. I don't think I mouse over him, but basically he's going to keep taking damage every turn, 1 HP of damage, and he's divine, so we can't target him with any buffs or anything like that. And that is a problem because when he dies, bad stuff happens. Like real bad stuff. So, yeah, it's possible maybe that you could do some kind of AoE build because he does put out a lot of creatures, but you would want to wait probably until after that creature dies naturally. So right now, I'm just trying to block him off with my land placement to keep him from getting too close to my orb, because all we're doing right now is playing a waiting game. We need to get Sharra before we can really feel truly safe. And to do that, we're going to have to draw some cards and, just survive. So that's kind of what the storytellers are for. I figure now is as good a time as any to put one down, just to kind of get the ball rolling here. But this is a pretty good start for me, honestly, because he hasn't gotten that middle hex, which he frequently does because he's got a lot of fire elementals and stuff like that. So it's pretty common to see him get that spot, and by not having him not have it, we are actually just in a really good position. So yeah, I guess at the moment, not really a whole lot going on. Just trying to play defensively again with my land placement. And wait him out here pretty much. Now, yeah, the shamanic dances are basically to help guarantee Sharra's survival and to guarantee that enemies have to attack her. He's got most of his creatures are going to be doing, more than 3 damage per hit. So she's going to be immune to all that when it comes to just direct melee combat. Unfortunately, I did lose my Wood Elemental, but I got his Wisp, so that is good, because that is an actual threat. At least it was at that power level. But there you go, we got Sharra, and now all we gotta do is play the waiting game. I gotta be honest with you, it's not a very exciting game. This is a kind of a cheesy strategy, but I'm 100% sure that people who have Sharra are going to be employing this or something similar. Now, what What you just saw there is his little guy died. And so now he kind of goes berserk. And he's going to do 20 damage to a random creature of yours every single turn. And if you don't have a creature out, he's going to do 20 damage to you. So you can see immediately how Sharra is extremely useful here, because she's immune to that damage. So basically, now that you have an unkillable creature, as long as you buffer and protect her, you're golden. That's really all there is to it. Yeah, I mean, he does. There is another little thing we'll see later on that he does, which is pretty nasty, and took me a little bit by surprise, because he's getting, like, you'll notice he's starting to get all these cards in his hand for free. Basically, he's not drawing them out of his deck or anything. Yeah, like right there, and it's not clear what they are, because we haven't seen him play any yet. But yeah, that'll happen a little bit later. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot else to say other than, you know, this is this is my cheesy strategy. I did try another strategy to try to cheese him with I can't remember what the card's called. I think it's like Dream Reaver or something like that. It's the big blue card where it costs like a million lakes to put out. But it essentially, you set one player's health to 10, and then you can dash it. So I tried to cheese him with that a lot of times, and I just couldn't quite. I needed, you know, I always felt like I needed just like one more turn to finish him off. So I couldn't quite make that work, and that's how I landed on this deck. So as you can see, though, he's still got a lot of stuff that does do 3 damage or less. With the ground shakers and stuff like that. So yeah, you need to be careful and just keep buffing as your Faeria allows. He's also got, I can't recall, I don't think we've seen one yet, but he's got some nasty like treasure cards, which are the earth shakers or something like that. It's not the 5/6 one, obviously, but there you go. There's one of the cards he's been getting for free, and it's potentially a problem. I didn't notice it at the time, though, that was a free card. I just thought he drew it. But anyway, yeah, no, he's got like these other cards. They're Earth somethings. They're 2/2s, and they do 2 damage to everything when they come out. And for everything that they kill, they get +2/+2. So it's a pretty nasty card. You also notice he's getting naturally 5 Faeria per turn, which is a little unfair, but so be it. Can't remember. I think he's gonna do his little surprise attack pretty soon here, and it's a good thing I had all these buffs, because when it happens, it's a lot of damage. It's also got a lot of these grim cards, so it's important to keep your health up, because right now all I'm doing is protecting my orb and waiting to deck him, because he's got 2 of those greater wisdoms in his deck, and he will use them, which means he's going to run out of cards before we do, by a pretty wide margin. So even with his 40 HP, as long as we keep ourselves healthy, he will run out of hit points before we do, as long as we don't let anybody touch our orb. There's one of those guys. So there you go. There's a 4/4 on the board, which is actually good for us, because now he can't hurt Sharra. And I don't know. I didn't really need to kill that Fire Elemental. I don't think it matters. He has 26 Faeria. He could play every card in his hand, probably. So I don't know. I just decided to kill it anyway. Now, I did get pretty fortunate with my land placement here, because he doesn't have anything anywhere near my orb. So, yeah, I was very, very fortunate to be able to block him off and keep him at a pretty good distance. Although it may or may not have even mattered, just because You know, even if I just keep her next to my orb, it probably doesn't matter, but I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to be able to deck him. So, yeah. And actually, yeah, these, I guess he's not getting those for free. I don't know what he's getting for free. Oh, no, I guess he is getting some Firestorms, but yeah, that's 4 fucking Firestorms in a row. Dude, come on. I was getting seriously worried. I was like, is every single card in his flipping hand a Firestorm? Good God. So, luckily it wasn't, and I think that's all he's got for Firestorms. So, at this point, you know, I'm a little nervous, but we did just weather that storm in a literal sense. And, yeah, I still have a lot of Tikis in my hand. I still got a lot of healing. So everything's looking pretty good. And he's out of cards now. So at this point, it's, you know, it's pretty much just a waiting game. So I don't really have too much else to say about this. So I think I'll probably just let this play out. And yeah, I did get a Time of Legends just in time. But then the interesting thing about Time of Legends is if you don't have a legend to draw, it actually will shuffle a legend into your deck. So it gave me one extra turn of card draw, which didn't really make a difference in this game, but it could have. I don't know. You know, it just gave me that one more turn before I started taking damage. But, yeah, anyway, I will let this play out, and until next time, my name has been Rojo, and thanks for watching.